this movie, Obsession, it's just so bloody brilliant, I could barely wrap my head around it, man. I mean, as far as I can tell, it's a perfectly modernized retelling of the Romeo and Juliet story. And I don't think people are analyzing this movie deep enough. I think people are really overlooking the opening scene in this movie. So I thought I'd take a shot at it. I've seen this film probably over 100 times since yesterday. So we fade from black and see this just ominous looking star dazzle out of the screen before some text comes into focus. Rialto distribution. Well, what the hell is that? Well, it's clearly referring to the Rialto Bridge, located in Venice, Italy, which in 1310 was partially burned due to a revolt by the Venetian noble Bagimonte Tiepolo. And so Rialto distribution, for all intents and purposes, means the distribution of chaos and disorder, which is what this whole movie becomes about after Bear makes his wish about Nicky. Next, we see these collections of blurry circles and a text that reads, "Focus features." This is a signal to the audience that the main focus of their attention should be on the expressions and nuance in the facial features of the characters in the movie. And once I figured this out, I just had to go back and watch the movie again, and I came across something really interesting. At one point, we find out Nicky has been hooking up with Bear's overweight friend, and if you take a look at his facial features, they're soft, not too pronounced. Well, who else in the movie has these kinds of facial features? Andy Richter. So it's clear Nicky was only hooking up with Ian because Ian looked like Andy Richter. Well, why would she want to hook up with Andy Richter? Because Nicky doesn't have a relationship with her father. And Andy Richter represents a father figure in her life, right? So that took me a few days to work its way through my brain. And then finally we see a black and white globe being surrounded by the letter C and the phrase Capstone Pictures. What does that mean? Well, a C in a globe represents the world. Therefore you get SeaWorld. And SeaWorld is where the orca Shamu lived. Shamu was a female orca that in April 1971 bit into an employee and refused to release the woman until the orca's jaws had to be pried apart. And that exact kind of raw animalistic violence is something we see from Nicky when she just destroys Sarah's face with a brick over and over again until her face is nothing but jello. So I'm afraid we'll have to stop here because I have about 1,100 more pages or so of analysis left, which we'll dive into next time.